Do you know the weaknesses of an INTJ personality type? Let's start at the beginning. The INTJ, or the architect, is one of the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types, known for their strategic minds and high intellect. They are independent thinkers who value knowledge, competence, and structure. They're the ones who love a good challenge, and they possess a unique ability to implement innovative solutions for complex problems. But just like every coin has two sides, every personality type has its strengths and weaknesses, and the INTJ is no exception. Their strategic mindset and independent thinking, while being their assets, can also be the source of certain challenges. These are the people who can sometimes struggle with social norms or find it difficult to express their feelings. In the next few minutes, we'll delve into the 8 key weaknesses of an INTJ personality type. Stay tuned as we unpack these characteristics in detail, exploring what makes an INTJ well an INTJ. Firstly, INTJs are notorious overthinkers. Their analytical nature and constant quest for improvement often send them spiraling into a world of endless possibilities. They can easily get lost in the labyrinth of their thoughts, analyzing every detail. This, unfortunately, comes with a downside. Overthinking can lead to unnecessary stress, anxiety, and even insomnia. It's not uncommon to find an INTJ overanalyzing a situation to the point of paralysis. Overthinking can sometimes paralyze INTJs, making it difficult for them to make decisions. Secondly, INTJs' determination can sometimes turn into stubbornness. When they believe in their knowledge and ideas, they can become akin to an immovable object, resistant to the push and pull of others' opinions. This unyielding stance often stems from their deep-seated confidence and desire for factual accuracy. However, it can also lead to a lack of flexibility, making them seemingly impenetrable to new insights or perspectives. This stubbornness can sometimes create friction in relationships and teams. Thirdly, INTJs can sometimes come across as insensitive. This characteristic stems from their innate preference for logic and rationality over emotions. Often they'll prioritize what makes sense objectively, inadvertently neglecting the emotional aspect of a situation. This approach, while useful in some scenarios, can make INTJs appear cold or uncaring. It's not that they lack empathy, but their communication style can give that impression. Remember, it's a facet of their personality, not a conscious choice. This insensitivity can sometimes lead to misunderstandings and hurt feelings. Fourthly, INTJs are often perfectionists. They set incredibly high standards for themselves, striving for excellence in everything they do. However, this drive for perfection can sometimes tip over into perfectionism. This relentless pursuit of flawlessness can have its drawbacks. It can create a cycle of continuous striving and never feeling satisfied, which can potentially lead to a great deal of unnecessary stress and even burnout. In the long run, this could hinder their overall productivity and well-being. Perfectionism can sometimes lead to unnecessary stress and burnout. Fifthly, INTJs can sometimes be intolerant. This trait often stems from their high standards and stubbornness. They have a clear vision of how things should be, and when individuals or circumstances deviate from this blueprint, they can become intolerant. It's not about being unkind, it's about maintaining efficiency. However, this intolerance can lead to an inability to accept others' mistakes or different ways of thinking. This can be a stumbling block, creating friction in relationships and teams. This intolerance can sometimes create friction in relationships and teams. Sixthly, INTJs often dislike rules and regulations. This is primarily due to their fiercely independent nature. They prefer to navigate life on their own terms, using their own judgment. This can be advantageous when it sparks innovation and out-of-the-box thinking, however, it's not always beneficial. There are times when rules are in place for good reason and disregarding them can lead to negative repercussions. This disregard for established norms can put INTJs at odds with authority figures. This dislike for rules can sometimes lead to conflicts with authority. Seventhly, INTJs often have difficulty expressing their feelings. This is not because they lack emotions, but rather because they operate in a realm of logic and facts. Emotions, being abstract and subjective, can be a tough territory for them to navigate. They may struggle to put their feelings into words as they prefer to communicate in clear, precise terms. This can be a bit of a stumbling block in personal relationships where emotions and feelings often take the center stage. Furthermore, they might find it challenging to understand or empathize with others' emotional expressions, given their own struggle in this area. This can sometimes create a disconnect with those around them who express their feelings more freely. The potential negative impacts of this difficulty can be significant. It can lead to miscommunications, strained relationships, or even cause others to perceive them as cold or uncaring. This difficulty expressing feelings can sometimes lead to misunderstandings and hurt feelings. Lastly, INTJs can sometimes be overly critical. It's a byproduct of their analytical nature and high standards. They scrutinize everything, including themselves and those around them. This scrutiny isn't always negative, but when it's excessive, it can be draining and counterproductive. It can lead to self-doubt, and when directed towards others, can cause strain in relationships. This critical nature, while it can drive improvement, can also be a double-edged sword. Being overly critical can sometimes lead to negative self-esteem and damaged relationships. We've pinpointed 8 key areas of concern for the INTJ personality. First, they tend to overthink, causing stress and decision paralysis. Second, their stubbornness often makes them resistant to change. Third, they may inadvertently hurt others due to their insensitivity. Fourth, their quest for perfection can lead to procrastination or dissatisfaction. Fifth, they have a tendency to dismiss others' views out of intolerance. Sixth, their disregard for rules can cause conflicts in structured settings. Seventh, their struggle to express feelings often leads to misunderstandings and relationship strain. Lastly, their overly critical nature can foster negativity. Remember, while these traits are part of the INTJ personality, they aren't fixed and can be managed or transformed into strengths with self-awareness and effort.